the new students can use. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Londyn, and here are this week's stories. An overturned truck has been the cause of crazy rumors and escaped lab monkeys from an overturned truck on the highway. According to Jasper County Sheriff's Office, they are encouraging all residents to avoid any encounters with these monkeys. Initially, the Sheriff's Office stated that these monkeys were infected with a variety of dangerous viruses, such as COVID-19 and herpes. According to the University of Tulane, those statements are false. They are asking everyone to avoid them at all costs because they are aggressive. Officials have stated that only 5 monkeys were spotted outside of the truck and 4 of them were shot.
Former President Biden's AutoPen signature process is under fire by the Republicans. The Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote in a post on X that they are reviewing the use of AutoPen for pardons. The report detailed a haphazard documentation process which the committee argued whether or not the former president made the decisions himself. If it is proven that the pardons were signed by the AutoPen, the pardons can be recalled. Bondi is also questioning the mental status of Biden when the AutoPen was authorized.
Former Illinois Sheriff Deputy is convicted of second-degree murder in the shooting death of Sonia Massey. Almost 12 hours after closing arguments, the jury found Sean Grayson guilty of second-degree murder, which was a lesser charge from his original charge of first-degree murder. Grayson opened fire, killing Sonia Massey, who was a black mother, too, who had called 911 about a possible prowler. Grayson stated in his own defense that he believed that Massey was going to throw boiling water on him, and that is why he drew his firearm. Grayson faces up 4 to 20 years.
A father was granted bond from ICE custody amid his daughter's battle with cancer. Ruben Maldonado was arrested by federal police outside a Home Depot in Niles, while his oldest child, 16-year-old Ophelia, was receiving treatments for stage 4 metastatic cancer. Maldonado is currently in the Clay County Jail in Brazil, Indiana. He is requesting to stay in the U.S. because if he left, it would present a hardship on his family. Department of Homeland Security alleges that his criminal history includes habitual driving offenses such as driving without insurance, driving without a valid license, and speeding. He was released on a $2,000 bond.
A slang word has found its way into nearly every conversation. Every exchange of words, every response to any question in which children as young as elementary school were asked has officially become a word. 6'7" has been declared a word by dictionary.com. So basically, if you ask a child or even a young adult a question, you'll more than likely see them raising their hands with their palms up saying 6'7". According to dictionary.com, 6'7" has been massively searched on Google by more than likely parents and teachers to figure out what it means. Well, it basically means nothing. That's all the news we have for now.
Stay tuned for more news after the break.
Welcome back to ACC Student News.
Here are the rest of the stories.
The Indiana Republican-led State Budget Committee struck down a recommendation to use state dollars to fund a federal SNAP funding gap. This comes as Hoosier SNAP benefits are pausing due to the ongoing government shutdown. The recommendation called for the governor and the State Board of Finance to allocate $100 million in contingency. The administration, it would have provided an additional $10 million for the Indiana food banks statewide each month the government doesn't reopen. According to the United Way of Central Indiana, there were concerns over a lack of reimbursement from the federal government might have played a role in this failure of this recommendation.
Homeland Security Secretary visits Gary, Indiana with a message about more immigration operations. Kristi Noem said in a press conference from Gary said that the immigration enforcement operation responsible for more than 200 arrests in Indiana is just the beginning. She appeared alongside federal and state officials to announce a partnership between multiple federal agencies called Operation Midway Blitz. Noem also stated Indiana officials have yielded over 200 arrests of people without legal status who have commercial driver's licenses. Since September, Indiana State Police have arrested 223 people, 146 who were drivers, and 46 of the drivers were behind the wheel of semi, and 82 were driving box trucks, buses, and moving vans.
Israel Air Force targets dozens of terrorists in the Gaza Strip, including October 7th participants. Dozens of the terrorists in the Gaza Strip, including 2 Babylon-level terrorists, 2 Deputy Babylon-level terrorists, and 16 company-level commanders were killed in the strike led by the IDF. This comes after the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas was violated by Hamas. According to the Jerusalem Post, among those attacked and eliminated were the ones who infiltrated Israel territory during the murderous massacre. Hamas has failed to release all the deceased hostages in a single release during the early stages of the ceasefire. Among the targets attached were observation posts, a weapons production site, rocket and mortar launch positions, and underground tunnels.
Video has surfaced of Hamas removing a body from a building, carrying it to a large pit before burying it under rocks and dirt, only to unbury it as new remains of a deceased hostage. The video released by IDF has been verified as being in Gaza City. However, the date and time of the video is unknown. The remains were later identified by family members. Israeli officials said that this particular body was previously recovered from Gaza during a military operation shortly after the start of the war. The Israeli Prime Minister criticized Hamas for handing over the remains rather than one of the 13 deceased hostages who are still missing.
The FBI foiled a potential terrorist attack planned in Michigan for the Halloween weekend by arresting several subjects. Director Kash Patel stated that a group that has a nexus to some form of foreign extremism were plotting some form of attack with a possible reference to Halloween. A group of young individuals was monitored in the greater Detroit area and taken into custody to ensure that no actual attack happened. Officials said that the group had some sort of link to foreign extremist grounds, but did not say what group or what ideology was behind it. The case involves federal charges and arrests, but no court documents have been released.
That's all the news we have for this week. I'm Saz.
And I'm Breena. Make sure to check out the rest of our videos on YouTube.
And follow us on Instagram at ACCtv Hammond.